So what did I hunger for? I didn't know. I took back seriously one time in my life, and I had the opportunity to sell everything I had. I sold it. Sold it all. And I took a serious evaluation of my life. And I said, Mr. Burnside, there's some things that you want, but what do you really hunger for? What do you really want? And I feel in today's society, this is something that we struggle with kids. I struggle with my own kids, building a hunger within them. Parents, you may feel the same way as I do. You wonder, what do you really hunger for? But as a parent, how could I teach my kid to hunger if I didn't hunger? If I didn't want better? I have to hunger first. So on the hunger side, this is the definition of hunger. It says a feeling of pain, emptiness, or weakness induced by lack of. And then it's blank. The blank is for you to fill in. It might be money. And there's nothing wrong with plenty of money. I'm not saying there is. There's nothing wrong with going after money. But there's a problem with it. That's all everything is based upon. A feeling of pain, emptiness, or weakness induced by lack of. It might be education. It might be social. It might be your physical well-being. It might be your mental well-being. I don't know. I don't know what each of you lack. This is one disadvantage as I have here tonight, is I don't know any of you. And you don't know me, and so I'm trying to get something that will hopefully cover the spectrum, and somewhere in your mind, change your way of thinking and say, hey, I can do this. This is possible for me. It is possible for anybody. If they can do it, I can do it. And I want you to understand that. So on the bottom of it, the next one, it says an appetite, a desire, a need, or craving, hunger for. What do you hunger for? And this is what I finally come to the conclusion of, is I hungered. I always loved to coach, and I always loved to teach. And I always loved self-development, motivational speaking. So I hungered for the desire to change people's lives. I can speak for free around the world if people would let me. I mean, I have no problem speaking. Some people probably say, I wish you wouldn't speak. I wish you'd just shut up and sit down, and it might be better off. But that's okay, because I know none of you are leaving because the awards are after me. So I don't have to worry about any leaving, right? Okay, so we're here to stay. So what was my hunger on it? Basically, I was taking the buffet of life. I was getting fed, but I was still hungry. How does that work? How can we get fed and still be hungry? That's where I was at in my life. I changed my life. I changed my way of thinking and how I think. Everything I do today is based upon my why. It's my want, my hunger, and your why is what the why stands for. As you read at the bottom, it says building a hunger for your wants creates your why. So I had to create a why. Can I make a difference to everybody in the world? Can I make a difference to somebody in this room today? No? Can I possibly? I possibly could. And when I look about the room, am I going to make a difference to everybody in this room today? Absolutely not, right? But this is a story I want to tell you. And this is kind of an interesting story, and this is what keeps me going. Because I know I can't make a difference to everybody, and I would love to. I would love to be that good of a motivational speaker. But I am not that good. And I don't know many that are that good that can make a difference. But I want to tell you a story. It's a story about the high tides. When the high tides come up on the ocean, the starfish all wash up on the beach. Right? Well, guess what? Starfish can't get back to the ocean. Right? They're stuck on the beach. What happens to starfish stuck on the beach? They die. So the high tide comes up on the ocean. This guy's jogging down the ocean, down the beach. He's jogging down the beach there, and he sees a guy in the distance that morning, and this guy's bending over and throwing things. And he's thinking, what's this guy doing? He's trying to figure out what this guy's doing. So he's jogging along, headed down, and he gets closer, and he can see the guy bending over and throwing something back in the ocean. And then he gets close to the guy, he goes, sir, he goes, what are you doing? He says, I'm throwing these starfish back in the ocean. And he says, sir, he says, don't you understand? He says, there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of starfish along the bank that's going to die. You can't throw them all back in. He says, you can't make a difference. And the guy looked at him, bent down, picked up one more starfish, threw it in the ocean, and said, it made a difference to that one. And that's the truth of it. You make a difference to the one. And if you made a difference to one, you made a difference to many, because those people will have influence on others, right? All of you have an influence on somebody, somewhere, somehow.